Welcome, everybody. It is such an honor and privilege to have all of you today. We are in Elite Masterminds, where I bring top performing agents into this particular space, ask them some questions that really can help you in your particular business in real estate. Now, one of the big things I always like to share is to remove the mindset that you are a real estate agent and replace it with the mindset that you're an entrepreneur in the real estate space. Because once you start doing that, everything actually becomes so much clearer and around you. So what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today we're going to be talking about farming and your sphere of influence. You see, farming is not something where you want to go and graze cattle or anything of that area or notion. It's all about working in these particular suburbs and farming that particular area so that you can actually start to extract your clients. But then once you've got those clients, they actually then start to become friends, family, people that know you, people that like you, people that want to do business with you, people that trust you. And that becomes a sphere of influence. So this is going to be the actual agenda for today, is talking about farming as well as that sphere of influence and how to actually stay in touch with them on a high profile level. So joining me is a person who's probably got, if we had a visa requirement for different areas within South Africa, she would probably be on her 13th passport. It's Alette, the touring practitioner. Alette, how are you doing today?
Hi, Stuart and everyone. Yes, we're doing very well. We are in the warm part of the country. I'm really enjoying the weather here and privileged to still be doing business while we are traveling.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. There I can see you were actually wearing like almost like a tank top, and here I'm standing with quite a heavy heater that's next to me, jerseys to keep myself warm. So that's, I suppose, is one of the biggest advantages that you have, is you can chase the good weather around South Africa. But more importantly, when you're chasing that good weather around South Africa, you're still doing business. So give us a bit of an update. What made you become the touring property practitioners? What was that drive inside of you that said, you know what, I don't want to live in a bricks and mortar fixed environment. I actually want to tour and still be able to have that freedom. What was that inspired you?
Yeah, I think we wanted to see the country, and we're not in a position to stop working yet. So when I joined EXP, we got all this technology and all the platforms that we used, and I just thought, well, it looks possible to be able to sell property without being physically there. It was a bit of a mind shift, because you're used to listing your own properties, selling your own properties, and going from that, where we list properties, stay in touch with our database, but we always collaborate with other agents to do the sale. But I mean, when we started, we only traveled close to previous home, for in case we had to run back and go fix something or help with a deal, and it was never necessary to do that. So, and that gave us the freedom to be able to travel anywhere in the country and even abroad while we are still working.
Now, that's amazing, because for most of us, we like the comforts of that warm blankets, that office environment where we've got our Rolodex, our database, our CRM, everything in place. Now, with you traveling all around the actual country, what is one simple way that you keep in touch with your clients, your sphere, on a regular basis?
I think something that is very important is to have self-control and be self-disciplined, so that when you decide to do something, you stick to that. I mean, it's easy for us to just decide, oh, I'm not going to do anything today. But I mean, if you're not working, you're not earning. So we still need to work, and we are very diligent in what we do. So what we normally do, we do it on a weekly basis, but we connect with our clients at least once a month with an interesting article. So we have split up our database into different groups. So it will either be a buyer or a seller, or maybe landlords, or only prospects. And then every week we send out an article that is specifically for them. So they get touched once a month, but we do the sending out of the articles every week. So we've got a time slot in our week, and every time that during the week we send out the articles. And then we also communicate, send out other communications. So let's say with the interest changes, we will send that out to everyone. So that's an extra touch. We do house anniversaries and also happy birthday messages that we send out. And then we also post positive sayings every day on social media and on my WhatsApp status and things like that. And we do get a lot of people just replying on that.
So every week, once a month. I mean, this is a full-time job. If you think about it, you're sending out those daily inspirational messages, weekly articles, sending it out to your sphere. You're then making contact on once a month with all of it. So you've got this cadence of continual communication. Now, I know that when it comes to articles, we could use AI to generate articles, but sometimes they're not directly related or relevant to the business that we're in. Maybe you can share a tip or a trick, because you're not a news reporter that can extract all this information on an ongoing basis. Where do you get your articles to actually share with your clients?
I mean, there's a lot of resources available. Sorry, I thought I was muted. And we also get newsletters. So whether it's from Property 24 or Private Property, or even EXP's newsletter itself, what we normally do is we will just copy and paste that an article, and we would put it into ChatGPT, and we would tell it, make it relevant for buyers or make it relevant for sellers, because our buyers and sellers are also across country. So if you are working in a specific area, you can definitely focus on that area, even just if you talk about things happening in your area, or even if you're not, I mean, I'm not on news and stuff a lot, so I don't normally know about things happening. I only know once it happened. So even if you just give your review on what happened, there was a big sport thing going on in your area, and how you experienced that. The people were positive, everyone enjoyed it, the weather was good, whatever. You just need to find something that you can communicate with your clients with. But we mostly focus on newsletters that we receive, and we will tweak it a bit. I'll read it to make sure that I use words that I normally use, not big English words that I have to go Google to know what it means. And that is what we send out to our clients. But I think that the message that goes with your article is also important. And that is something that we've learned very early on, is that you need to educate your clients about what you want them to do. So you cannot just expect them to send you a referral or to save your number on your phone if you don't tell them to do that. So that is normally part of the message. And then in that message, I've just got a link to the article. So I'll tell them, I saw something interesting about the article's name. Here's the link if you want to read more. Please remember to keep me in mind if you know about someone wanting to buy or sell property. And then maybe next time when we send it out, please remember to save my number on your phone, or anything like that. So you have to educate your client all the time, and you're using those touch points to do that.
You know, I absolutely love that, because you're actually getting inspired by news articles that are coming through to you. And instead of going, well, that was interesting, that's something that, okay, you're actually taking that particular content, making it relevant for buyer, for seller, and then actually sharing it out with your network. And that actually becomes this ongoing resource, which is absolutely amazing. So in what you're actually doing is you are leveraging somebody else's, let's call it newsletter, and
Yes.
giving reference to them to allow you to actually communicate. Now,
Yes, and it also positions you as a professional, because you are sharing information which they might have not received, because they're not in the same spheres that we are moving in.
Correct. So I want to move on to once a month where you're actually making a call to an existing client. Now it might be an anniversary, a birthday, etc. Generally, how do you keep track of whose birthdays, whose anniversaries, and where does the motivation come from to actually give them that particular call? Because you could have done a 300-kilometer drive with the caravan on the back, you're exhausted, and now you still got to have that time and that energy to do it. So what do you use to track so you know who is the person to call? But where do you get that motivation to make that call when you're tired?
So we use two different systems or two different calendars. The first one that we use is our Google Calendar. So sometimes if we do have to travel, we set out time for that. And we plan our week, every single day from 8 till 5. We know exactly what needs to happen at what time slot. And part of that, one of the entries every day will be our PropCon calendar. So everything that happens in our business regarding listings or buyers or any communication that needs to go out, we put a calendar entry into PropCon. And then in our Google Calendar, we set time aside to go and look at that. And I mean, it is motivational to know by the end of the day, you've gone through everything that you wanted to do. And I mean, it started for me because I always felt a little bit overwhelming. There were so many things I wanted to do. I wanted to post on social media. I wanted to phone my clients. I wanted to canvas for new stock. And when the week is past, you haven't done anything. So I started with making a list of everything I wanted to do. And then I broke it up in on how often I want to do it. Is it something that needs to happen daily, like your birthdays? If you want to do birthdays, you have to do it daily. Even the house anniversaries. If you want to communicate with an article, at least you can do that once a week or once a month, depending on how big your database is. And things like that. If you do need to do feedback for your clients on their listings, that needs to happen once a week. So what I've done is I've broken everything down, and then I went and sat with my Google Calendar, and I made a time slot for everything to happen. Now, if I've put time aside for traveling, I'm not worried all the time about everything that still needs to happen, because I know there is time set aside for that. But I need to be disciplined to go and look at my calendar and know, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do now. And even if I didn't get through everything that was planned, I either have to move it or I have to work a little bit later.
And again, I love that because you plan and you execute. But what's more importantly is it's actually the consistency that you've done this has actually become a habit. You've actually got into that position where when you wake up in the morning, it's not something where you have to be motivated by something on the outside. It's actually now just become a natural routine, not a chore, something that actually excites you to actually go forward. So I want to turn it to a point where you've done referrals. You've done this for a number of years now. Could you share a story where you've reached out to a client and they've either given you a referral or they've given you that lead that has been one that really stood out for you? Is there any one that stands out? And there's probably many of them, but is any one of them that you could share with us?
I think the one time I was really surprised is my daughter, she's living in the US now, and they came to visit us in December 2022. And we sent out a message to our whole database. So it took us a month to get through everyone, but we sent them a message just saying that we will be on holiday from this date to this date. If something urgent happens, you're still welcome to contact me, but I will not be so quick to reply because we will be busy and all of that. And as those messages went out, we received 7 referrals for listings, and we did not ask for that. So it just shows that if you just stay in contact with your clients and they are used to me asking them, please keep me in mind if you know about someone. So when they receive that message, they quickly think, oh, I know about this person who wants to sell a property. Let me tell Alette. So that was a big surprise to me. It was a bit overwhelming because I didn't plan for that. but we were grateful for that as well.
You know what's so amazing about that is you've kept in contact. You then, and you've actually crossed over that fear line. Most agents or entrepreneurs fear if they're out of their business comes to a standstill. But you've actually just shared with us and shown how powerful making that ongoing communications and keeping those relationships, being top of mind with your clients on an ongoing basis, when you actually share with them, hey guys, I'm traveling. I cannot respond. It's going to take maybe a day or three before I can come back to you. And your clients acknowledge that. You see, you've set that expectation, and then they've rewarded you by going, you know what, Alette, I think you need to have some more work so that you can get yourself prepared to go on another vacation. See, this is the power when you're working with that particular database. Now, this is going to be a question. Now, you've mentioned that you're using a CRM package, you're using the calendar to keep it all intact. If you did not have a CRM and if you did not have a calendar, would you be able to continue your business as you are right now?
Definitely not, Stuart, because it is way too much to remember. And even if you are small now, you can still remember about viewings that needs to happen or people that you need to follow up with. But if you really want to scale your business, you have to use the technology that we've got, because it's impossible. I mean, I've got sometimes on a single day, I've got like, let's say 30 to 50 entries on my calendar. That is people that I need to contact, and that is not the articles. So and that is something else that we also implemented in our business. It's not just the consistency of things that is keep on happening. Every single client, you also treat whatever their need is. So if you speak to someone and they tell you that they want to list their property, but they need to speak to their husband first, you ask them, okay, when do you think you'll have that discussion? Okay, maybe over the weekend. So I set a calendar entry for Monday or maybe Tuesday to follow up. Did you speak to your husband? And things like that. And every single client has got those specific calendar entries as well. And that is what we go through on a daily basis to make sure that we do not miss anything.
So to actually sum this up, and coming as a coach, there is a word that we use on a regular basis. The human mind really cannot operate and do everything as much as we think it can do. So that one word is called leverage. You have to leverage your business. It's actually one of the tools that every entrepreneur actually uses. And if you're not using it, it means that you're actually losing a huge part of your business. So, what is leverage? To just define it for you, well, leverage breaks down into three areas. Number one is system. So as you can see, Alette has this system that she follows: plan, execute. She knows exactly when she's going to do something. If somebody says to her, by the way, I can't speak to you now, I can speak to you on the weekend, she has a system to put it into her calendar as a reminder coming through to her. So using a system to follow. The second is tools. We cannot use the gray matter between our ears. It gets tired. We need to use the technology tools, and she uses that CRM that then she can insert the calendar that pops up with everything. And then finally, this is the one that I absolutely love, is people. You've leveraged people. Now, you've leveraged people in two ways. First, you've actually leveraged your clients because you have actually set the expectations with them that you're traveling. And when you're going away and you're giving that message, you're actually leveraging them to give you leads, which is so powerful. But you're also leveraging agents around you, collaboration, so that it allows you to be in one point of South Africa or maybe in a different country and still be able to conclude transactions anywhere in South Africa. So you're actually using leverage to the absolute maximum. Now, as you're growing in your particular business, you cannot be stagnant with 50 customers. Every single day or every single week or month, you're making contact with your past clients and they're giving you leads, they're giving you referrals. Give me your process that you follow when you're adding new people into your database. What is the process that you go about?
Well, it normally depends on where the client comes from. If it is a referral, it will definitely be a phone call or something just to make the first contact. And together with that, they will receive a WhatsApp with my contact details and a prompt for them to save my details and telling them what to expect. If they're wanting, let's say, a valuation, or they want us to list the property, we make arrangements for pictures, or we arrange, or I usually tell them, if they want evaluation, please give me some time because I want to look into this and make sure I give you a proper report. It's not something that I jump on and do now quickly. And then I will set a calendar entry for that to do the valuation, because if you just jump on everything that happens, you will not get very far. So we like I said, we plan our day and we have set time aside for different things. And we also do a lot of networking to get to know clients. But I think the main thing that you need to remember is the moment that the first contact was made, they need to go onto your system, and you have to set those reminders of when you want to contact them again and why you are contacting them. I mean, sometimes I contact someone just to find out when are they flying to the area they're going on holiday with, because they're looking for a property there. Because the last time I spoke to them, they said maybe in 2 or 3 months. And that's something you will not remember if you don't make that note and you make that calendar entry. So we normally, when we load someone on our system, we do send them out the first message. And with PropCon, that covers you with the POPI Act as well, because the link is there. They can opt out if they want to. And then we tell them to save my details on their phone. And that also makes it easier for you when you do the WhatsApp communication through PropCon. If your client's name is saved on your phone and your name is saved on their phone, WhatsApp see it as a legit conversation, so you won't be blocked that easily. And then, yes, put the calendar entries in and know what you want to achieve with that client. Are you just building relationship? Are you working towards a mandate? Or do you want to set up viewings and things like that? Stuart, something else that I just want to mention is that I also use WhatsApp labels a lot. So when I receive a WhatsApp, I don't always just reply, because my time is set out for something else. I'm usually busy with something now. So I've got time set in my diary for WhatsApps and emails. And that is the time that I read them, but not necessarily respond to them. So I will label them in different things. So I will put like a label on CRM. So I know this is information, maybe they sent me an address or they sent me an email address that needs to go to PropCon. I'll put that label on, and then maybe it's just something I need to reply to. I'll put that waiting for feedback or whatever. And then when I come to my time slot where I work on my labels, we will go and sit and put all the information that is supposed to go to PropCon. We put all of that into PropCon. All the people that I need to answer on a question, I then answer on a question. So I think we are working very structured. We are very distant with our time, and I think that is why we are able to travel and do what we do. And the other thing is that you need to be authentic and you need to be honest. I mean, if something happens and I cannot help my client now, I tell them. And most of the time in my situation, I'm not there when they go for a viewing, but they always appreciate the effort that I put in to make.
No, fantastic.
I hope I answered the question.
Absolutely, absolutely. You definitely answered that particular question. I could see towards the end you're losing a little bit of signal there. And I actually want to just say, I want to thank you so much, Alette, being yourself, as touring with Paul, going around the country and actually going down to different locations around the world as well, and showing that you can actually do this if you're leveraging your business to the highest potential. Farming, building those sphere of influence, actually just becomes a day-to-day activity. And here's something that I want each and every one of you to actually take away. Not once did let's say that she's actually cold calling a brand new prospect to find out from him if they want to sell their house. She's building relationships. She's making sure that her clients know who she is. They always have themselves top of mind on an ongoing basis. So when people suddenly say, hey, I'm ready to sell, who do they call? Well, it's the touring property practitioner. If they know somebody who's looking at buying or selling, who do they refer them to? Well, it's the touring property practitioner. So it's an amazing, amazing journey. And Alette, I want to thank you so much for your time. Any final words from yourself before we close up?
Just something maybe small. I know a lot of people feel overwhelmed if you structure your day and you have to work according to a calendar. But don't let it be your boss. I mean, you are still the person setting that calendar, and our calendar is very flexible and it's working. So when we get to a new resort and we look at the activities they've got, we work that into our calendar. So our calendar is not just work. It's work, it's enjoying ourselves, it is traveling. All of that is part of our calendar, but what it gives you is peace of mind, because you will get to everything. So if I can encourage you to start using a calendar, you will be on a good road forward.
Absolutely. And no pun in saying the good road forward, because you obviously have seen many, many kilometers that's been out in front of you on your traveling. So again, Alette, I want to thank you for your time and coming on. It's always an honor to have you share your wisdom, your experience with our particular audience. So from myself, Stuart, I'm going to thank you again to the audience that's come on board, because Elite Masterminds is where I actually have very selected topics and I bring on our productive agents to share their experiences, to share their tips, their tricks, and sometimes even pull those curtains back so that you know their secrets as well. So it's been an honor and a privilege. Until we do the next one, I look forward to seeing you in the next session.